Beautiful souls, welcome back or welcome to The Hawk and I. My name is Lana Zelinsky and I work in the spirit dimensions. As always, in all my videos or on my live feeds, simply take what resonates and whatever doesn't resonate, you can leave it right here. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. It's nice to have a little bit of extra time. I was grateful to have some extra time. Good morning, Bianca. It's good to see you. I've got quite a bit to talk about, so I will scroll through the questions when I'm done the energy update. Got a lot to talk about. I'm also going to do a meditation this morning because Spirit asked me to. So I am going to get to that. So I just want to say thank you for the understanding that I needed to come on a little bit later today. I really needed just a morning of no timelines. So I appreciate you supporting me in that. My weekend was great. There was a lot of fun and a lot of relaxation and a lot of gathering, and it was very grateful for that time. April. So here we are, April 1st. I do love spring. It is, a very glorious time. The air feels different. We feel lighter. There are new things growing around us all the time in the spring, whether it be, the flowers peeking up. My tulips have been peeking up for a little while, despite the weather being warm and cold, warm and cold. My tulips seem to be tolerating that okay. And I sat there with them yesterday, for a moment, and just felt into that on how my tulips are still growing despite the uncertainty of the weather. So I felt into that a little bit, and it was glorious to be reminded that we are always growing despite our own circumstances around us, right? Tamara's me too. I'm grateful for our meditation. Yeah, I am going to get to a little meditation this morning. So I did leave the YouTube monetization off, just because it can be really interruptive when we're meditating. So what the spirit talked to me about for April 1st for this week, I actually tried to channel the whole month and do a whole month energy update, and spirit gave me a hard no. And a hard no was what spirit said, and I'm okay with that. I'm grateful to do it week by week or even day by day if that's what spirit wants me to do. But spirit gave me a hard no to keep our focus 1 week at a time, and that's a good thing. I'm perfectly okay with that. So what's coming in this week is, and some of you probably felt it over the weekend. It's probably more when it started, and I'm really curious about the crazy dreams or the foggy head, or just feeling like you're in a bit of a fog. I'm really curious about that. Who's been having some real wild dreams, like just like off the charts wild? I myself have not, but I felt that when I was in meditation this morning. I just felt that there was a lot of fog and a lot of dream stuff stirring up some stuff. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, foggy head, wild dreams, all of it. There's a big reason for that. There is a really big reason for that. So, and if you haven't had foggy head or dreams, it's okay. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong. I myself have not had that foggy feeling, or the dreams being crazy. But what we're coming into with April. Oh, here's another thing I want to ask. The spirit wrote it down, or I wrote it down when spirit said it to me. Do you feel like you've been in limbo? Do you feel like it's like limbo time, like wash, rinse, repeat? Like I'm just kind of in this space, this limbo space. That was the other thing that came up that spirit kind of gave me as a question. That feeling of uncertainty, just kind of not quite sure as to what direction I'm going in. Perhaps things are falling apart, or falling away, relationships changing, jobs changing, how you're feeling changing. Have you been feeling a lot of that too? I'm just kind of curious. Feeling lost, then feeling okay. Yeah, uncertainty. I will scroll back up. I promise to get the rest of the questions up top. I'm just trying to glance a little bit. Kayla, I've been waiting for something new to come up. I'm in the in between. Yeah, this is all energy that spirit talked to me a little bit about. And one thing, so I sat there for a little bit, and I perfectly have an understanding when it comes to divine timing. Last week and the week before, we had a lot of that emotional stuff was coming up, and what Spirit said to me, and this was quite profound, is sometimes we struggle to move forward with what we've healed and what we released. We kind of stay in that limbo space, and the big word that came up for me, well, there were two big words. actually 3 big words, was allowing that to kind of, drift off now that we've worked through all that emotional stuff, and we spent, and we're always healing, right? We're always in that healing space. But the energy that's coming in is gonna push us out of that lost and that stuck limbo, is time to really acknowledge. It's acknowledging the inner work. You have all been working really hard on that inner stuff, and it's time to kind of give yourself some confidence. Spirit talked about confidence. Spirit talked about, putting our foot back in the water, or in a new situation, or in a new space, in that confidence. That whole, I just want to flip my page over here because I've got so many notes that I've taken on this topic. The calling to step into confidence, the opportunities, taking back our power, taking that leap of faith. And this is what Spirit said to me as well, is ask them, what makes them feel brave? What brings out that inner warrior? What is that open and powerful energy? What gets you there? So it essentially, what turns on your inner warrior, and that comes from a very loving space. That comes from that inner warrior, and that confidence that comes from that very loving. That's a very loving space to come from. What gives you that? What helps you get there? Sometimes we do need help in getting there, and I kind of chuckled when I was channeling that, because yeah, I do need help getting there sometimes. I do. And so, so we all do. We need help to be able to get into and embracing that. And the one thing that you can do that will help you with that is to be able to lean into what makes you feel good, what makes you feel confident with exactly how you are. So try not to add, well, if I lost weight, or if I did that, or if I had no new clothes. Try to tap into just as you are, loving yourself right where you are in the space that you're at. What makes you feel confident? And I sat there for a moment with Spirit, with, okay, I really need to think about how I'm going to answer that. I literally went there. I was meditating, getting all these downloads and channeling, and Spirit asked me that powerful question, and I sat there for a moment, and I discovered something. I discovered that I don't tap into that. What do I need to feel to help me feel that? We think it's going to be that instant switch. Okay, now I'm confident, but to be able to help ourselves feel that, to be able to help ourselves acknowledge that, to be able to help ourselves take our own personal power back, to be able to grab at it, that whole transformation of our inner world, of our inner self. There is, in this month, I felt that this month is going to be a bit of a pull together of the gap between the bridges of our inner self and the physical world. I felt collectively being very a comfort level coming into that. I feel like we're taking steps at better closing that wanted and unwanted, and allowing that energy to come in a little bit more and a little bit more. And what was really interesting with that is when we kind of lean into that confidence space, when we kind of lean into that, what do I need to get there? The power and the leap of faith and the strength that we have to either try something new, and it can be big or small. It doesn't have to be the great big monstrous, leaps of faith, or those great big steps. Those little tiny baby steps really matter too, and it can be just to have the confidence to try something really, really small, or taking a big leap. It doesn't have to be the great big things. And Spirit really pointed that is we kind of are always on the edge of our seat waiting for this great big thing to happen. And we don't really feel into those smaller steps, those subtle things, that inner point, that warrior point. We don't kind of acknowledge or think that those tiny steps are enough or good enough. And when we step into that, and when we're able to just say, you know what, I'm just going to sit and feel and allow and ask myself, what do I need to be confident or to feel that? Or and even being confident. And there are times where we have to be confident going through the hard stuff too, right? So there's that piece, that is really important as well. Um then when I was sitting there with Spirit, I suddenly felt very sacred. I felt, for the first time in a long time. And here's what I'll kind of ask you to do. And maybe perhaps it'll come out in the meditation. The meditations I just channel. I don't pre-write them or even think about them. I just channel. But here's something though that I think that when we tap into that confidence piece and when we shift into that, just that allowing piece, that transformation, when we sit in that, all of a sudden there was a very sacred feeling around me. And it was my own energy that I was tapping into. And it was my own inner warrior energy. It was my own inner strength energy. It was my own weirdness energy. And I sat there feeling very, very good. And I meditate all the time and I channel all the time, but this was kind of like a bit of something different. It had a bit of a different twang to it. It truly had a different twang. And I thought, oh, wow. I think I just scratched I just scratched on another layer. And I felt that, you know what? Even though even though the physical world is really tough, and that's what came to me. Even though the physical world is really tough, and even though things don't always go my way or how I expect them, my inner warriors got me. And I just felt special. I'm going to try and capture that for you in a bit of a meditation, but spend a little bit of time to push and challenge yourself into the new chapters of within you, into that new space of just feeling that inner power, that sacredness within you to yourself. And it was moving, you guys. It was like so moving. Um and I felt that my own personal bridge between physical and non-physical from my higher self, I just felt that the bridge was a little bit shorter. I felt that gap come in. And it's a glorious space. And I think that when we kind of tap in that and give ourselves some of that time, some of that warrior time, I feel like some of that fogginess or that tiredness or that weird dream space that we're all in, because I really feel the energy is trying to crack us into this new space, into this new feeling, less in that feeling of limbo and more of that you are a sacred warrior and you've got this: big steps, little steps, hard times, easy times, the wanted and the unwanted. I just it just felt like a very different feeling for me for April. The other thing that came out this morning from Spirit for especially the first 2 weeks of April is be very, very careful with what you're giving your energy to. And it felt, and whenever I see yellow, it's a caution sign from the spirit dimensions. Be very, very careful. And I'll read that again, as to what you're giving your energy to, what you're allowing your personal vibration to be subjected to for the next 2 weeks. And it's not, I don't feel terrible with it. I just feel like, so, and this is how it came. So much of the physical world, whether it be social media or other people's thoughts and opinions, or even family and friends, so much of that can be very energetically draining. And I do feel, does it connect to a little bit of this, of the eclipse energy that's coming in? I feel it as a very sacred energy that's coming in. I feel it as a very private, loving energy. I feel it as a huge transformation that's very personalized. But when we put our energy into things that are a little bit of abrasive or rough, that can be very draining. And I feel like over the next 2 weeks, we're going to need to kind of like really preserve and keep our spiritual gas tanks filled right up. So what fills your heart? What fills your energy feels? What fills you up? And I need to kind of I mean, I'll use the word protective and filling it up or sharing it with like-minded people. But I need to really, and I'm going to be kind of doing this myself. I don't have a lot of social media exposure, other than my own stuff. I'm very careful who I follow. I'm very careful with what I give my energy to. But I'm going to tighten that belt up the next 2 weeks because I really felt it as relevant. And again, it doesn't feel bad. It just feels like our energy, that we need to be protective with it. We need to, and it's not that we don't share it. I want to be clear. Sharing that delicious energy is a delicious gift to give to other people. But just make sure what you're spending your energy on. There's probably a gentler way of putting it. Watch your checks and balances with energy this week on how much you're giving out to sources that are draining you. And it's just, a balance thing for me for the next 2 weeks. And if that's how I'm feeling, I've got to honor that. And that's what Spirit's telling me. Man, I personally will be listening to that. So the being able to call back our own energy, to be able to tap into preserving it and watching where we're giving it. I think that we don't give that enough attention. We can, subject our energy fields to things that we may not realize how draining it is. So if you're in that space of tiredness or a little bit of a fog, just lean in there for a moment and just ask yourself a question or reflect back on, where have I been spending my energy at? Where's my leak? It was almost like a balloon when Spirit showed me like a slow leaking balloon, and how the air slowly gets out, and we don't push it back. We don't blow more energy back into ourselves very often, right? A lot of us, myself included, I'll be brutally honest with you. There are times where my self care slides a little bit. It's like, oh, it's been really, really busy this week. I haven't done my usuals, and I can feel that slide, right? So just be mindful of that. Just if you're feeling that way, just tap in. I also want to talk a little bit about headaches. Headaches have been kind of energetically drifting around over the last couple days. So if you have been experiencing headaches, I want you to just kind of think for a moment, where has my energy been out this week? Because I really feel it from the crown coming out with the energy of tapping into places that we really don't need to tap into, other people's stuff, other like just watch it, right? So and of course, and I'll always say this, if you feel like it's medical, please see your doctor. But I'm talking about just those subtle, dull headaches. Just for a moment, pause and say, okay, what have I been up to energetically, and do I need to fuel back up? Because I really feel our crown and our connector, because we do connect through our head. Our crown is going to be extra connected over the next 2 weeks, to higher energies. So just make sure that you're putting that into balance. Okay, just make sure that your balance is really good. Especially this week and into next as well. So I hope that all of this really resonated with you. Um, Call in that inner warrior. Really, little things. I'll give you guys some tips that will help you do that, because for some of us, visualization can be difficult, or meditation can be difficult. But one thing that you can do is whatever your morning routine is, or whatever you start your day. If you're a night shift worker, then do it before you start your shift. When you're getting ready, and this can be quite fun, and it may feel awkward at first, but use your imagination. When you're getting ready in the morning, when you're putting on your clothes or your lotions, or doing your hair, insert warrior stuff. So, I'm putting on my warrior pants. I'm putting on my big girl pants, or my big boy pants. Right? I'm putting on that warrior energy, and then tap into what your inner warrior feels like. So, if you feel like you're a warrior of love, or a warrior of kindness, or a warrior of healing, just literally, I'm putting on that. I'm putting on my warrior jacket to kind of call back my power, and to hold that space. When we kind of do things physically, it helps us tap into blending with that energy. Bianca, I put on my warrior rings before I read tarot. Great, exactly. So, Bianca, thank you for sharing that. It can be anything. It can be your bracelet. It can be your glasses. It can be your clothes. It can be your makeup. My warrior makeup. It can be whatever it is. Even use your deodorant. If you just be, it'll help you tap into that energy, because for many of us, we're learning how to tap into energy, and that's a great way. Or to carry a little, if you want to carry a little baggie with something special, and just kind of put it in your pocket to help you feel like that inner warrior. So, when the more that you do that, and here's what will happen with some practice: the more that you do that, the stronger the energy will be for you to be able to tap into it without having to do those things, right? So that's a great way. Or another thing, you might want to walk with a walking stick, right? My power, right? you can imagine it as archangels, sort of blue light, or whatever resonates with you. If certain colors make you feel like a warrior, wear that. But if you can tap into that warrior energy, that loving warrior energy, right? And just remember, it's a loving energy. It's a loving energy. It's a strength energy. What gives you that feeling, right? What gives you that feeling? If you like to label your water bottle a warrior of love and light, or whatever it is that can kind of get you into that space. Insert that this week and just be playful with it. Spirit is always on me. Have fun with those spiritual practices, Lana. Have some fun with that, Lana. Like, make sure that you're inserting that. It's a glorious, glorious way. Now, those dreams, those weird, funky dreams that so many of you are writing me and messaging me about, quite often, and a dream is a dream, but quite often there is an interpretation there. There can be a hint there as to what you're kind of holding on, and even at a subconscious level, we may not realize what we're holding on to. And sometimes there can be an indicator there, in our dream time, of what needs to go. The energy being so crazy can also cause dreams. The energy has been, I know, wild. I feel like I've been riding a bull, like, a bull of bucks. That's kind of how it feels, right? We had an emotional 2 weeks. We had all this stuff coming up. We've got this eclipse energy and some astrology stuff going on. So depending on how you feel that energy, and some of us don't, and some of us do. But when that can affect our dream time. So I personally, what I would suggest is open a window every morning and let some of the energy out if you're releasing in your sleep. Sometimes we do release in our sleep, and I don't think we pay enough attention to that. Sometimes we let go in our sleep. We release in our sleep. So enjoying that. Kayla, Mercury retrograde starts today. It does start today, and I feel this Mercury retrograde very different than most. I energetically, Kayla, and it's really kind of interesting, and it might be because of the eclipse coming in. But I don't feel the retrograde as much of a slowdown as normal. Normally retrogrades kind of slow things down. I'm not feeling that yet. I'm feeling it a little bit, more of a playful retrograde, of a different type of energy that's coming in. This doesn't feel the same for me, from the astrology end of things. I just don't feel it the same. Um I also, I'm very energetically aware of what I might be bringing into, but it just feels very different for me, Kayla. Let's scroll up to some questions, and then I'm going to jump into a meditation. So let's just see. I tried to grab a few as you guys were putting them up, but I didn't catch most of them. A lot of foggy head and wild dreams. A lot of you with that. Very interesting. Diane Quinn, not me, but crazy thoughts. Okay, so with those crazy thoughts, sometimes our thoughts can be an indicator of what we need to work on. Sometimes our thoughts can just be thoughts. I like to try to acknowledge them and talk to them if there's something that's lingering. Sometimes thoughts just come and go, and it's okay too, right? It can just be a thought, like a cloud that moves through. This thought's moving through, and I'll give it permission to move through. If it's a thought that I need to talk about, or something, or I need to talk with, I'll sit down with that thought and I'll just say, okay, what's going on here? Where are you pulling this from? Last night I had some of the wildest dreams I've ever had. Yeah, Travis, there you go. There's a lot of that energy moving around. MK, good morning. My tinnitus is crazy now. Hard to sleep. Try opening up some of the windows, you guys, and letting some of the energy out. Some of you may be releasing in your dream time, in that restful time too. I mean, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with releasing while you're sleeping, but we do need to move the energy through too. So either open a window, you can light a candle, whatever resonates with you to move energy. I always suggest doing that. Bianca, my dream was interesting but fun. I was floating around. Oh, I love that. Both fog and dreams. A lot of you here with that. I had an insane dream last night, really scary one at the end, actually. So one thing with the dreams, I mean, you can look up dream interpretation. Is very easy to look up at the power of Google. I also like to scratch out at what it means personally for you. So if there's something that you feel like you need to let go of, perhaps you may have had a really weird dream that doesn't resonate with you. But if the vibration of fear is a big part of the dream, I'll often ask myself, okay, what am I been afraid of? What am I afraid of? Is there something that I really need to sit down with myself and feel into that? Sometimes you guys, and and let's be, let's be brutally honest. I feel like I'm choking. There we go. Um, Sometimes we struggle with acknowledging how we're really feeling, right? We may be like, well, there's nothing really to be afraid of, but I am afraid, and we kind of bury that, or push it down, and there comes a time where it wants to be released. That fear wants to be released. That fear wants to be let go. That it wants to be addressed. And sometimes we may truly not even know what's causing that particular feeling, but I will always acknowledge it. I'll say, okay, all right, whatever fear, or maybe it's an insecurity, or maybe it's something that's lingering. Whatever I've picked up, I'm going to give myself permission to acknowledge it, and give myself permission to be able to release that. Releasing is a huge thing. um Kayla, I'm waiting for something new to come up. I'm in the in between. Sometimes with the in between is I just want to tap into this because I've learned this myself, Kayla, over the years. Sometimes with the in between, we need to enjoy that space too. Because we want to move forward, we want to move forward. It's not coming, or I want to do something different and it's not coming and it's not coming. And there is still a delicious space in the in between. I'm just going to relax until it comes, until the change comes. I'm going to, try this in the in between, taking a look, because there's a very different perspective with time between physical and non-physical, between the spirit dimensions and here. It doesn't exist, right? So there's it's always divine timing. So I will try and enjoy that in between time the best way that I can, the most delicious way that I can. I will try and enjoy it. So when you're in that in between space, kind of tap into, what can I do to make this enjoyable while I'm waiting, right? Brian, yes to limbo. Doing but feeling in between something. Yeah, it's a big in between feeling for many people, Brian. 100%. It's been an odd week. So many changes and interesting interactions. Very curious. I love the playful of that. I love the playful in that. Also in limbo space, keep waiting to push forward, but keep feeling like I'm supposed to wait in the in between too. I think I really love how there's such a similarity with what we're all experiencing. That energy that we're all experiencing. It kind of, I don't know about you guys, but it probably has a bit of a feeling, okay, I'm not the only one, or I'm not going crazy, right? We're all in this collectively, and we're all experiencing very similar journeys. So enjoy the in between space too. Sometimes that in between space can be, I just need to rest and recharge. Sometimes the in between space can just be a moment to build trust for, I know it's coming, and I'm going to trust it, and I'm just going to allow that growth. For me, with the in between space, because I've learned, I'm a bit better now, but over the years, I've been always so eager for what's ever coming next, with that excitement. And Spirit has always said you need to enjoy the now of where you're at, and you need to kind of dig deep into that. Because I have a very curious by nature. I'm very curious. I like to explore just naturally. So I will explore the right now. And I will often remind myself of that. I'm exploring the right now. There's still something here for me to learn. There's that gap where I haven't quite, finished that grade, or whatever, however you want to look at it. But I always stay with that power of, I'm right here right now, and I'm enjoying the learning. I'm going to allow the energy to come in when it's time, and I'm okay whenever it's time to move forward and change and shift. The in between space can kind of, and here's the thing too, I just kind of heard this from them, is sometimes that in between space, there could be a reason for it. Perhaps you just need to get, to have a little bit more time with where you're at, or perhaps, and I've had this happen before with, what? I think I'm being shown a different direction. Right? I thought I was going this way, and now there's an in between space, and all signs are pointing this way. So I think I'm just going to allow myself to regroup, regather, allow the energy to come in. I'm going to allow that transformation, and I will often talk to myself. I'm not stuck. I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And if being in limbo and doing some more inner work is where I need to be, then that's where I'm going to stay until it's time to push forward in whatever direction I'm going in. So there can be that too, because I think, let's be honest, and I'm using that word a lot today, let's be honest. Um, We are very impatient as humans. We are extremely impatient and to the point of many of us had those temper tantrum moments, right? I want it now, I want it now, I want it now, I want it now. And we get so agitated and frustrated. And if we can just kind of be mindful enough to take it moment by moment, day by day, it just kind of helps guide us in where we're needing to go. All right. Just heading to my P.O. box. Says Wes, have fun and stay safe, Wes. Kayla, the angel card pulled this morning was divine timing. I myself, not so much now, but maybe a little bit now. Divine timing and wanting to push against that, right? The impatient part of us, we can be so impatient. Um, And one thing that has helped me when I think about my own impatience, one thing that has really helped me kind of navigate through that is when you think back over time, we never get it back, right? Like once we never get it back. So if I'm going to enjoy the right now, I want to make sure that I'm salivating with it. I really want to make sure I'm enjoying it right now. Even with if the learning's hard, I want to learn this right now. I don't want to have to repeat it. Is kind of what I will remind myself of. My son has a growth on his nose. Family doctors referring him to a plastic surgeon, trying not to worry. Um, Diane, I don't feel worried, but I do feel absolutely he needs to have it looked at. But I don't have a worry with it. I feel like it's like it will be dealt with. I don't feel worry. I'm not taken back with it, but I do feel it needs to be definitely looked at and addressed. Tamers, oh, what turns on our inner warrior. So that's how to be confident. Yeah, and feeling good with that. And here's the thing too. Um, when we struggle with feeling confidence, right? I want you to remember you are uniquely you. It doesn't have to be what's giving everybody else confidence. What makes me feel confident can be very different than what other people tap into for their confidence. And it's okay. Whatever you need to turn on, whatever resonates with you that gives you that confidence feeling, lean in there. It doesn't have to resonate with anybody else. Just lean in there, right? I have a lot of fun with it. I have a lot of fun with that whole playful energy. What gives me confidence? What's the feel good? What's the feel good, right? What do I need to have more of the incoming? Okay. Um Please send some healing vibes to my dog. Tilly, she had some seizures again this morning. She's resting now. Oh, absolutely. 100%, Julie. Absolutely. Tamers, I don't know how to turn on my inner warrior or what makes me more confident. I've not thought about it before. What a great thing to start thinking about. What turns you on? What turns on your confidence? And when you think about that too, you can use that, not just with the inner warrior piece, but what makes you happy? Do you need more of happy? What makes you strong? What kind of gives you that vibe? What kind of makes you feel stronger in that? What do you need more of? I'll word it to you that way. What do you need more of? What resonates with you? Laura, hi, Lana. I'm so happy that I can catch you live. I'm happy to have you here. I love your words of wisdom. I was wondering if you could tap into my spirit guides and see if they have anything to say about my path. Laura, the first thing that I got was a lot of I'll use those cheerleader pom poms and those signs when you go to like a sporting event, you got those signs. And what this the cheering is, I kind of find that funny. I don't maybe there's a big sporting reference with you, but what I really find that what they're doing is they're trying to get you to cheer for yourself. I don't know if you struggle with cheering for yourself, but they're asking you to lean in there for that with cheering for yourself. So have you been? My question would be, Laura, is have you been hard on yourself? Have you been kind of picking at what you haven't done great with and not looking enough at what you do amazing with? We all do things very differently. Some of us do great at sports. Some of us are that'd be me. I'm too clumsy and klutzy. But I love sports. But what I feel like I've got to what they're trying to do is push you into cheering for yourself. And it's that whole inner peace. It's that whole inner world. It's that whole only you have to be okay with you. Oh, I just oh, I felt that one. Only you have to truly be okay with you, right? So I feel like I've got to get you to cheer for yourself in that. Few more here, you guys, and then I'm going to get to the meditation. Um, Tabitha, I'm feeling more stiffness in my body lately. The spirit see anything in my diet. I all as I was reading, it's funny that you asked me that, Tabitha, because as I was reading, I felt cold damp foods. So cold damp foods and inflammation and stiffness. I would take a look at, and of course, this is not medical advice. If you know if you need to see a doctor or not or a naturopath, please do. But when you ask me that, I feel like it's cold damp foods. I need to back off, and I don't feel it's permanent. I feel like a temporary thing with some dairy products. And I just feel like it's Chinese medicine for me is cold damp foods, which is dairy. So and that's what they're showing me. So I would kind of back off that, and I also feel like there's been some hidden stuff on labels. I've because I can see your hand. I've got to start reading the labels. So just keep an eye on how much. Just journal how much where your dairy intake is, and I just got to take my foot off the throttle. But interestingly enough, I don't feel it long term. I just feel it like there's some kind of adjustment going on with your physical body, and I just have to kind of give it that space. I hope that makes sense there to you, Tabitha. And thanks for your question. Um, I recently did a return to sender spell, put up words of sorts to keep negativity away from us. Um, I love that you're protecting your energy. I'm just having a listen with what Spirit had to say about that. I love that you're protecting your energy, and I also would just simply add. I like to add with anything that I do, with spirit rituals or anything like that. I always add with love, with love, um, because feel that it's really important with spirit that even though we don't want it, I always wanted to kind of like change the recipe of it, and I always send anything back with love. um because I don't want to, for me, this is a Lana thing. I'll just use me as an example. I don't want to send anything back to anybody, even if they're struggling, and even if they're really, really, really negative person, even if somebody doesn't truly wish me well. And I just simply send things back with love. One thing that you can add to that, though, Janine, is I'm not open to receive anything like that anymore. I'm not open to receive anything. Then you don't necessarily have to send anything back. You're just not open to receive it, so it's not coming your way anyway. Just kind of add that I'm not open to receive anything that's not for my highest good or of a loving vibration. And you'll find it a little bit easier. You'll find it easier to navigate through. But one of the greatest things I have learned is even if mud is thrown at me, I'm not, I get to decide if it's going to stick or not. Right. So just kind of add that to your practices of, I'm just not open to receive it. All right. I hope that resonates. If it doesn't resonate, Janine, it's okay. All right. Nisa, I'm feeling a little unfulfilled at my current job. Is this the right for me? Is this the right job for me? Does spirit see me doing something different? Um, I think you've already answered that. So I always say tap into how you're feeling, right? So when you tap into how are you feeling? If you're feeling unfulfilled, then it's time to and here's one thing I want to ask you is where are you unfulfilled? Is it the job, or is there another part of your world that's not giving you the fulfillment? I just felt like I had to pose that question to you because sometimes we may be seeking something, and it may be, is it another area that you don't feel fulfilled in? Is it another area? Is it an energetic area? Where are your spiritual practices? Are things in balance? I'm just pushed to ask that to you because if you feel unfulfilled, is it, and if you say, yeah, it's 100% my job, then we have the choice and free will of changing that, right? We have the choice and free will of changing that. For many years, I mean, I could have opened up the door to my mediumship a long time ago, and I just felt that it wasn't time until it was time. So I didn't open it up till it was time. It wasn't going anywhere, right? So I feel like a lot of that is choice and free will. But if you're feeling it, if you're feeling the unfulfilled, where is the unfulfilled? Really tap into that deep, because sometimes the unfulfillment, we may be searching for something completely different and we're thinking it needs to come from our work. I just had to put that out there. All right, a few more. I'm grabbing my copper spear for the meditation, not sure why, but I'm being led to it. Yeah, we're going to get right to that meditation in just a few moments. Two beautiful yellow hibiscus blooms yesterday, Easter Sunday, a message from my father, mother, or both. Both, Dee Dee. Both. And I feel it's also spirit involved in that. I feel like your time to bloom. I really feel that it's your time to bloom. I love that so much. After the meditation, I'll try and grab a couple more questions. Jennifer, what does my adult youth need to know? I really feel, Jen, that they need to really feel into the energy of being enough. I feel that they really need to let that absorb in. So I don't know if I need a T-shirt or if I need post-it notes, but I feel like they're kind of like searching for that fulfillment feeling. And it's all within. Keep getting sent in within. I've got to keep coming in within. It has to come from them. So I don't know if this person is looking for validation outside, which is quite common for our youth, by the way. I mean, they're looking for approval. They're finding their way, right? They're finding their way. They're moving through wanted and unwanted. They're discovering a whole bunch of things. And I just have the arrow, the card arrow coming back. It's all here. It's all here. You're already perfectly perfect, right? The rest of it is just navigating and learning. I hope that helps there, Jen. All right, let's get ourselves comfortable. We're going to do a little meditation. Ooh, wow, it's 40 minutes go by so fast. Trying to understand it. Time is just a made up thing, I guess. Let's get ourselves comfortable. I'm gonna you. Whoa, I just lost everything here. There we go. Sorry, my screen minimalized when I grabbed my paper down here. So we're gonna get a meditation going, and we're gonna do it. I'm gonna help us tap into that inner warrior energy. Okay. Nice and comfortable. You can sit or lie down, whatever resonates with you. Eyes open or eyes closed. It's totally what feels good to you. And a big breath in. Let's get a big breath in. And as we've talked about a lot, and a lot of things have come up today. Big breath in and let it out. I want you to really exaggerate the exhale for me. Really let it out. Really feel that release. Really feel that. And just do that a couple times. Big inhale and an exaggerated release, and exhale out. And just for a moment, feel your physical body. Just feel that physical body. And allow your physical body to just soften. Let's just start with our head and neck. Let's just start there. Let's just soften and let go. Let's just let go and just relax. Let's just relax. We don't relax enough, right? Just feel all those tensions and all that worry or whatever's been going on. Just feel it letting go. Just feel it letting go. If you need to wiggle your body or move your hands, just feel it letting go. Letting go. We don't need all that worry right now. We can take a few minutes and just be. Give your body that permission. Making your way to your back, both upper and lower, and your legs. Those legs carry us through some tough stuff. Give those legs permission to rest. And feel your feet on the floor. And feel your feet connecting now to Mother Earth. Imagine them buried deep in the sand, either the beach sand or mud, whatever resonates with you. Just feel that between your feet or in the water. if you prefer. And just feel your feet being held here in the present moment, being so grounded and connected to the earth, to the universe. And as always, let's call in some beautiful light, beautiful angelic light, or any kind of light that resonates with you. And allow that light to hold you, wrapping your body in love and protection, with a blanket of warmth, a blanket of love. And just for a moment now, I just want you to think about or imagine yourself at your favorite space or location, whether it be the mountains or the ocean or a forest, or perhaps just sitting quietly on your front step. Just think about that space. Just allow yourself to have a seat there and rest. And if you wish, you can ask your angels and guides or anybody in the spirit dimensions to sit with you. And just know that they're there, holding the space. And now take a hand, any hand, and just put it on your heart, center of your chest. Just feel that heart space. Just feel the beating in there, the strength in there, the love in there. Just know that it's there. And now feel or know, tap into your inner strength. Feel that strength and that energy. Feel how strong you are. And just for a moment, remind yourself of that strength. And now allow that feeling to become expansive. Allow it to surround you. Allow it to grow. Feel the energy of that. Now allow that strength energy. Allow that strong feeling within you. All your inner strength, your physical strength. Allow it to blend now with the heart space. Allow love to flow and blend with strength. And feel how good that feels. That love and strength blended. Feel the loving warrior energy there. No friction, just love, just strength. That personal power. If this is your first time feeling this part of you, just love. Just love the space. The loving warrior, the warrior of love, and allowing that energy to expand even more. Every part of you filling with love and strength. That is your power. It's always been there. It's always been there. Expand it even more to fill up the room that you're in now. Fill up the room with that love and strength. Now fill up your home. Expand it. The loving warrior energy within you. And just take note for a moment. How do you feel? How does your inner loving warrior make you feel? Just take note of that. This strength and this love and this energy. It's always here for you. And just feel that collectively now. Just feel all of us tapping into that. The expansion of love, the expansion of strength. And just remind yourself very softly and gently, my inner warrior is always walking with me. Bringing your awareness now back to your breath. Becoming aware now of your physical body. Wiggle your feet. Moving your body a little bit. And when you're ready, opening your eyes and coming all the way back. That inner warrior space within you is always there. I hope that you enjoyed that little meditation. Fran says, I have so many positive changes while I'm learning patience and divine timing. Oh, I love that. That's like sweet dessert, that statement. Yes, I've been learning from spirit to learn to enjoy where I am. As an Aries moon rising, I usually get impatient. I love you guys so much. This has been an exciting hour. It has been an exciting hour. I love it. Um, this week I will not be here on Wednesday. Uh, and I may show up Friday really, really quickly. But this week for me, being a short week, is quite busy. I have a lot going on. So hence why I hung out here for almost an hour on the Monday, just to give you guys some extra time because Wednesday is a definite no for me this week. So let us lean over to, let's do an angel number and we'll do a spirit animal um, message as well. So the angel number first. What do we need to know? 264. Trust that you trust that you and your loved ones are watched over, protected, and supplied for by the angels because you are. Let's do another one too. 547. Congratulations for talking to your angels, listening to their guidance, and getting yourself on the right path. I love that. All right. Let's see what the spirit animal book wants us to know for the week. I should probably bring some oracle cards Monday and do some oracles too. All right. So let's see what we need to know. The ram. Whatever you've been considering starting, now is a time to go ahead and begin it. There's something that is out of balance in your life, so determine what that is and take steps to correct it. The timing is right for you to pursue intellectual and educational interests and activities, so make a plan to do so and put it into action. You're ready for some new challenges, so be willing to charge ahead with whatever gets your attention. You're going through or about to go through a spiritual initiation leading to an emergence of a different sense of yourself. Transformation. Transformation. I love it so much. Um, now she has me crying. Oh, bless you. Thank you for spending extra time with us. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. There's just so much love and support and guidance in this little community that we've built here, and I am so grateful for being held the way that you all hold me and the way you all hold each other. We all hold each other here, very gentle. If you've ever noticed, it's very gentle here, very safe here. I always feel so held here. Anybody else feel held when they're on the lives with all of us? Um, I just feel so held. It's incredible. So thank you all for being here. It's a collective space that I absolutely love. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and tap into that warrior energy. This YouTube is my space safe. I agree, Kayla. It is my safe space too. I love it so much. Tap into that inner warrior. Do a little bit of work with that inner warrior. Just get a little bit playful. Call that inner warrior out a couple times this week. Bring that inner warrior with you. Um, and we'll touch base maybe Friday or next week. We'll touch base and see how that's working. As always, you can always ask questions here on the live. It doesn't have to always, I try to get to as many as I can. I know I don't get to all of them, but I do try my best. But if you have questions about your inner warrior, and go ahead and ask them on the live. I do try really hard to get to the questions on the YouTube channel. Some weeks I do better at it than others, mainly because of time. The YouTube channel, I do it out of love and joy. So I don't always, I can't always get to all the questions on the channel itself, but I try really hard to get to as many as I can. Um, so if you have questions, probably in the next live about the inner warrior, or if you want to share with the group on how you've worked with your inner warrior. As always, I'm wishing you love, light, blessings, and have a spirit guided week. Take care, you guys.